Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to a new series of videos called Random Hidden JRPG Gems. Now, the purpose of these videos is to talk about games that I've barely covered in this channel or that I've never covered before. What all of these RPGs will have in common is that for one reason or another, they didn't feature in any of my other Hidden Gems videos. Right guys, I want to thank you for watching and I hope you enjoy them. Okay, we're gonna start with Okaka, Shadow King on the PS2. Okaka is one of those RPGs on the PS2 that nobody paid attention to when it came out. Also, it doesn't look like your everyday anime style game. Characters here are super deformed and they look beyond weird. That is actually part of its charm, I guess. This is a story about a boy who makes a pact with Stan, the great evil king who becomes a shadow to him. The goal is to find the other evil kings and defeat them so Stan can conquer the world. In fact, the original name of this game is Me and the Evil King. I wonder why they changed the name, huh? Anyway, it's a turn-based RPG where you fight normally in turns like any average game of its kind, but with the addition of using the shadow to make powerful attacks. Also giving the chance to the player to wait in order to make combos with the other characters. Okaka is a very unique RPG in terms of art style and story, considering its enormous weirdness. Other than that, it is a pretty standard turn-based RPG, but one that is definitely worth checking out. Now available digitally on the PS4 too, by the way. Next up is the Guided Fate Paradox. This is a game I played recently on a stream, then for a few hours on my own. I gotta say though that it's also a very weird game, but this one in terms of gameplay, it's a roguelike RPG, but it's hard to describe as you go into randomly generated areas with all the rules of that particular subgenre. However, well, take a good look. Some dungeons or areas will be just like this. That is what, in my opinion, makes this game unique and special. Paradox takes you to a very strange story with a boy winning the lottery to become God. Yeah, you heard that right. He becomes God. So, he then meets a bunch of angels who are nothing but anime tropes into a visual novel adventure. Overall, you'll be reading tons of comedic dialogue, learning long-ass tutorials, and getting into these crazy areas. I like that you can have one companion as a party member, cause usually you're on your own in these types of games. Trust me, it's fun and it's totally worth your time. But obviously only if you're into roguelike RPGs and funny anime cliches. The Guided Fate Paradox is an exclusive on the PS3 and somewhat hard to find, but it's not expensive at all. Give it a try if you can. Next is Gurumin, a monstrous adventure. Originally released for PC, it is an action RPG, also available for PSP and 3DS. Only physical version, however, remains exclusive to the PSP. Now, this game is for kids. Let me emphasize that, because it's highly quirky, cheesy, and very childish. Honestly, it feels like a Nickelodeon RPG made in Japan. However, it's quite fun. It's a game that you start in either easy or normal difficulty, but beating it unlocks hard mode, and so on. Revolves around a little girl called Perrin, whose parents send her to live with her grandfather. Since there are no other kids living in that town, she befriends a group of monsters that live in a village nearby. Your quest begins as an excuse for exploration at first, then to help the monster village after being destroyed. This game has a lot of charm and great music, like most Falcom RPGs. The core of the gameplay relies on fast-paced controls that are quite easy to understand. You go on about with your drill as a weapon, upgrading it in some of the dungeons and areas you'll visit. Platforming elements are there, and it's a 3D game, meaning you can expect the usual shenanigans. So explore a place, solve simple puzzles, beat monsters, destroy things, find an item, sometimes fight a boss, rinse and repeat. Overall, it's a pretty decent game that can be somewhat addicting if you find a way to enjoy it. Here we have Super Robot Tyson Original Generation. I can't believe I've only covered this amazing game once. It's strategy RPG on the Game Boy Advance, one with mechs, aliens, and yeah, it's a science fiction universe. It was the very first game of this gigantic franchise to be localized. Originally released in Japan in 2002 but brought overseas until 2006. Basically, they're crossovers of the Super Robot Wars series, but this one was pretty unique. Developer Bam Presto created their own mecha, characters, and a very mature story about political warfare, alien invasion, and adult treachery. But it can get awkwardly funny sometimes. You choose between two main characters at the beginning, each with their own story, route, and maps. As a tactical game, it delivers efficiently as it is fast-paced and with several different characteristics. You don't always need to be near the enemy to engage it, as you can attack from a distance sometimes. Same goes for them, as a matter of fact. It's all about choosing a specific action when they attack you, such as countering with the default weapon or one with the currently available, or evade or defend. Then you get to watch these awesome animations all the time. But if you want to, you can skip them. The game's not that hard, but still, it can get pretty tough sometimes. Check out this awesome game if you can, even if you're not into mecha. I'm not, for example, but I managed to get into it quite easily. Last but not least, Ark the Lad, Twilight of the Spirits. I decided to put this fantastic RPG on the first place because I've never included it on any Hidden Gems video before. Sure, I've covered this game a few times in the past, calling it criminally underrated. It's a forgotten gem on the PS2 that takes us into two completely opposing and different points of view. You will play one chapter with the human side, with Karg as the main character, and Rage with the Deimos. Then you'll have an episode with Dark, a Deimos who hates humans. Racism is the core theme of this amazing and incredibly well-written story, with all kinds of crazy characters. This is the fourth title in the Ark the Lad series and the last one to be actually good. The best one in my opinion. So it's a strategy RPG but not grid-based. Here you have freedom of movement within limited areas to position your characters to attack, defend, or use a skill from afar. This combat makes it easier to get into, as it is challenging but very balanced. You have to use Spirit Stones to be able to use magic and special attacks, which can be bought in stores or found after defeating enemies. In the end, this great game is easy to get into, far from being convoluted and friendly for beginners into the genre. So give it a chance soon on the PS2 or digitally on the PS4, as it is truly the definition of a hidden gem. That's all for this episode of Random Hidden JRPG Gems. Thank you so much for watching, don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends. See you on the next episode!